Well, the polls are officially open and people across our area are casting their ballots for the people they want to lead their city and town governments. There are a number of mayoral races happening in many local communities, and one of the most interesting races is right here in Mobile, where no matter what, there will be a change for the first time in 12 years. Mayor Sandy Stimpson is not running for re-election. Fox 10's Vanessa Pacheco is live at a local polling place in West Mobile. Now, Vanessa, I know you've been out and about all morning long. How are the lines now?
Well, Ashlyn, we haven't seen too much of a line, but we have seen that steady flow throughout all the voting centers. Right now, we're at Covenant Academy. I've been going to different voting centers all throughout the morning. Obviously, you just mentioned it. For the first time since 2009, we won't see Mayor Sandy Stimpson on the ballot. We have 4 new candidates this year. So we've talked to each 4 of the candidates throughout the morning. We, of course, will give you that information later on this afternoon and tell you a little bit about what they had to say. But overall, you know, they're all appreciative of everyone that's been helping them in their campaigns. They're encouraging everyone to vote. We've been seeing, again, the steady flow of voters. And speaking of voters, I do have one voter here. We have Jack McCaskill. He just finished voting. Now, Jack, obviously, it's municipal election day. And how important is it to you to just take part in these type of elections?
I think it's extremely important because I feel like my vote counts more in a local election, and I'm more affected by what occurs and maybe have more influence because I'm one of there's a smaller percentage, and so it turns out of people that they've got to listen to rather than the whole nation. And so I think it's extremely important. I try not to miss it, and I wish I knew more about the candidates sometimes. But of course, at the local elections, as well as the national, it's expensive to get on TV and actually, you know, be interviewed to the extent that, you know, you really feel like you know something about them as opposed to them saying the same thing on ads every time you turn on the TV. So I think that would be helpful. And then, too, I think our elections are getting too political, I guess you might say. Of course, they are different parties and stuff, and I think that one thing at the federal level, I think term limits for Congress would help a lot, because people would be free then not to be intimidated or feel like that, oh, if I don't do this, then I'm going to lose my job. You're going to lose it anyway and say a total of 8 years or whatever the term limit might be. So I really feel kind of strongly about that. But I voted today and did what I could today, and that's all I can do. And I hope the rest of America will do the same, that if they're voting today, local, whatever, county, whatever size elections they might be voting in. So.
Thank you so much, Jack, of course. Thank you for taking the time to vote today. I know it's important to you and for different people here in the city of Mobile. Of course, we're going to keep you updated on this key race that's happening here in the city of Mobile. We're going to keep you updated on air and online. But for now, in Mobile, Vanessa Pacheco, Fox 10 News.
Vanessa, thanks for the update. I'm sure we'll check in with you later on throughout the day today. Well, getting an outright winner today in the mayoral race will be hard with 4 people in the race and no incumbent. To get that outright winner today in the race, that candidate would need to get a majority of the vote. If none of the 4 candidates receive a majority vote, which is 50% plus 1 vote, it will go straight to a runoff. Thomas Shaw, an associate professor of political science at the University of South Alabama, says the likelihood of a runoff is pretty high.
I think the possibility is actually quite good. Based on the most recent the polling numbers I looked at, the candidates at that time were about neck and neck.
If there is a runoff, it will be held on September 23rd, and the next mayor will take office starting this December. Meanwhile, the District 1 council seat is also up for grabs. Incumbent council member Corey Penn and Herman Thomas are in the running. For District 2, incumbent council member William Carroll, Reggie Hill, and Samantha Ingram are campaigning for that seat. And then the District 4 seat is being contested by Bill Appling and incumbent council member Ben Reynolds. And then District 6 sees Matt Frazier, Paul Onderdonk, and incumbent council member Josh Woods are all vying for that seat. And finally, for Mobile County, District 7 sees Robert Battles Sr. and Gina Gregory fighting for that position. Mobile isn't the only city, though, with a mayoral race. Prichard has 10 people vying for the job. The candidates are Anthony Clark Banks, Rodney Clements Jr., Carletta Davis, and incumbent Mayor Jimmy Gardner. Then there's Charles Hardin, Terrence Harris, Lorenzo Martin, and Janetta Pogue. And to round out the lineup, Kelvin Thornton and Helen Wright are all vying for the title of Prichard Mayor.